Dear students, today let us study about some problems related to Ohm's law. Just now let us recapitulate what you had studied in the last class. Yes, the first thing you had studied, that is Ohm's law. So what is the statement of Ohm's law? It states that the potential difference V across the ends of a conductor is directly proportional to the current flowing provided temperature remains the same. That is, V is directly proportional to current I. Therefore, V is equal to I into R, which is the equation of Ohm's law, where R is a proportionality constant called as resistance. We had studied about resistance also. What is resistance? It is the property of a conductor to resist or oppose the flow of charges through it. And SI unit of resistance we had studied, that is ohm, which is denoted by a Greek letter omega. Therefore, R is equal to V divided by I, where V is potential difference divided by current. So, what is the definition of 1 ohm? That is the unit of resistance. Definition of unit of resistance. So, the resistance of a conductor is said to be 1 ohm if potential difference across the two ends of a conductor is 1 volt and the current through it is 1 ampere. Yes, this is the definition for 1 ohm. Once again, I'll repeat. Resistance of a conductor is said to be 1 ohm if potential difference across the two ends of a conductor is 1 volt and the current through it is 1 ampere. Yes, as resistance of a conductor increases, current in a conductor decreases because I is equal to V divided by R. Is it? So, resistance of a conductor increases means current is going to decrease. So, in many practical cases, it is necessary to increase or decrease the current in a electric circuit. So, here in this case, variable resistance or rheostat is used. So, what is variable resistance and what is rheostat? I think I had told you about variable resistance and rheostat symbols in the part 3 of electrical circuit class. So, variable resistance means it is a component used to regulate current without changing the voltage source is called as variable resistance. What is rheostat? It is a device which is used to change the resistance in the circuit. So, both the symbols I had shown you while explaining the components of electric circuit and its symbols in that chapter. In that part, I had explained about rheostat and variable resistance. Okay. So, these components are used to increase or decrease the resistance in an electric circuit. Yes, the current is different for different electrical component. That is, certain component offers an easy path for the flow of electric current while others resist the flow because it is depending on material of the conductor. So, and what is the cause for resistance? It was also explained in the last class. What are the causes for resistance, right? So, a component of a given size that offers a low resistance is a good conductor. In the same way, a component of a given size that offers high resistance is a poor conductor. And a component of a given size that offers even higher resistance is an insulator. We call it as an insulator. So, it depends on resistance. Current is depending on resistance. If the resistance is more, current is less. Then if resistance is less, current is more in a conductor. So this we had studied. Next, the third topic, that is we had studied about factors on which resistance of a conductor depends. So which are the factors we had studied? Resistance of a conductor depends on length of a conductor. So how it is depending on length? Resistance is directly proportional to length. That means as the length of a conductor increases, resistance of a conductor also increases. As the length of a conductor decreases, resistance of a conductor decreases. So this was the first factor we had studied. The second factor, that is resistance, depends inversely proportional to area of a conductor. So how it depends? It is inversely proportional to area. Resistance is inversely proportional to area. That means as area of a conductor increases, resistance of a conductor decreases. If area of a conductor decreases, then resistance of that conductor increases. Okay. So it is depending on area, that is inversely proportional to area. And the third factor, that is nature of its material. The nature of the material of a conductor. Resistance is not same for all the material. It is different for different material. And also it depends on temperature of a conductor. So for depending on temperature, the resistance increases or decreases. Okay. So R is equal to rho into L divided by A. This was the equation which we had got, and where rho is a proportionality constant which was called as resistivity of material of the conductor. Rho is called resistivity of material of a conductor. Of resistivity, that is rho, is ohm meter. So what is resistivity then? Resistivity is the characteristic property of the material. It is not same for all the material. It differs from one material to another material. So the metals and alloys have very low resistivity, where they are called good conductors of electricity, and rubber and glass have very high resistivity, where they are called as insulators. Here both resistance and resistivity vary with temperature. And also I had explained resistance and resistivity is not one and the same. It is different. Resistance depends on length and area, but resistivity, it is depending only on nature of the material. So it is different for different material. Resistivity is different for different material. Okay. But resistance depends on length and area. It depends, as length increases, resistance increases. But resistivity is not going to vary of same material. Okay. So copper and aluminium having very low resistivity is generally used in electrical transmission lines. And tungsten, you may have heard about tungsten, which is used in the filament of a electric bulb. Right? Next, alloys have resistivity more than that of copper and aluminium. They do not oxidize or burn readily at high temperature. For that reason, it is commonly used in electrical heating devices like electric iron toaster, etc. So alloy, which is having resistivity more than that of copper and aluminium. These materials are used in electrical devices like electric iron toaster, etc. So these were the topics which you had studied in the last class. Okay, now let us solve some problem based on Ohm's law and resistance and resistivity of a material of the conductor. Yes. First problem, that is, how much current will an electric bulb draw from a 220 volt source if the resistance of the bulb filament is 1200 ohm? B. How much current will an electric heater coil draw from 220 volt source if the resistance of the heater coil is 100 ohm. Yes, you can see in both the cases voltage is same but resistance is different. First electric bulb they have taken resistance of 1200 ohm and electric heater is having a resistance of 100 ohm. So we have to calculate the current in both the case. So let us consider first A. Where voltage is given, that is 220 volt. Next, resistance of an electric bulb, that is 1200 ohm. What we have to calculate? Current I. I is equal to, formula is V divided by R. So what is V? Substitute, that is 220 volt divided by resistance is 1200. So if you just divide, you are going to get the answer, that is 0.18 ampere, which is the unit of electric current. So the second case, that is of electric heater, let us calculate the current. Voltage is same because it is of 220 voltage and resistance of the heater coil R is equal to 100 ohm is given. So here also you have to calculate the current, that is I is equal to V divided by R. Therefore V is equal to 220 divided by resistance is 100, therefore which is equal to 220 divided by 100 is 2.2 ampere. So current is 2.2 ampere. Okay. So in both the cases voltage was same, resistance was different. So current is different for both material. Yes, you can see here where resistance is more, current is less. If resistance is in second case resistance is less, therefore current is more. You can see here the difference. As resistance increases, electric current decreased. As resistance decreases, electric current increased. For 100 ohm it is 2.2 ampere. For 1200 ohm it is 0.18 ampere. Okay. Next problem, that is 12.4 example. A potential difference between the terminals of an electric heater is 60 volt. When it draws a current of 4 ampere from the source, what current will the heater draw if the potential difference is increased to 120 volt? Okay, here first let us take what is given. They have given that potential difference, that is voltage, is equal to 60 volt. So when it draws a current of 4 ampere, so current is given as 4 ampere from a source. Okay, what we have to find now? First we have to find the resistance there because resistance is not given. So resistance R is equal to V divided by I. Yes, therefore substitute, that is R is equal to V by I. V is equal to 60 divided by current I is 4 ampere. So which is equal to 60 divided by 4, which is equal to 15 ohm. Okay. So next they are told what current will a heater draw if the potential difference is increased to 120 volt. So here what they have done, potential difference is increased to 120 volt. So potential difference is 120 volt. So resistance is same, that is resistance R is equal to, which we have got, that is 15 ohm because it is of same conductor. So resistance R is equal to 15 ohm. R is equal to 15 ohm. So what you have to calculate? Current. in the heater. So current I is equal to V divided by R formula. So V is 120 and resistance which we have got, that is 15. So 120 divided by 15. If you do, you are going to get yes 120 divided by 15, which is equal to how much the 8 ampere. 15 8s. Yeah, so current I is equal to 8 ampere. So 8 ampere of current is drawn by the electric heater when the potential difference is increased to 120 volt. Okay. Yes, I hope you all understood. Try to solve it in your classwork. Yes. Let us move on to the next problem, that is resistance of a metal wire of length 1 meter is 26 ohm at 20 degrees Celsius. If the diameter of the wire is 0.3 millimeter, what will be the resistivity of the metal at that temperature? Using table 12.2, predict the material of the wire. So, we have to calculate the resistivity of a given metal. We don't know which metal it is. Depending on the resistivity, we have to find which metal it is by using the table 12.2. First, let us see what is given. Write down length of the material of a wire is given. So, length is 1 meter. Next, it is told the resistance of the wire is 26 ohm. Okay. Diameter of the wire is given, that is diameter is equal to 0.3 millimeter. Remember always, whenever the given things, you have to see whether it is in SI unit. Okay. If it is in not the SI unit, you have to convert it. So millimeter, so for diameter the unit is meter. Therefore convert this into meter, that is 3 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter. Milli means 10 raised to minus 3. So 0.3 into 10 raised to minus 3, which is also equal to 3 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter we can write, because here 0.3 was there, I have taken it as 3. The decimal point is removed, therefore 3 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter. So what we have to find? Resistivity, rho. So we don't know the resistivity. So here formula, resistivity formula, R is equal to, rho is equal to resistance R into A divided by L is the formula. So area, here area is not given directly, they have given diameter. Therefore, what is area? Area is equal to pi r square. So radius is not given, diameter is given. So radius is diameter divided by 2. Is it? Therefore pi in place of radius, diameter divided by 2. So square it is, therefore square it. Therefore you are going to get pi d square divided by 2 square is equal to 4. So substitute this value in place of area. So what happens? Rho is equal to pi, let us substitute here. Rho is equal to R into, in place of area substitute this, pi d square divided by 4. In the denominator here L was there. So formula rho equal to R into pi d square divided by 4L. So we have got this formula. Now next we have to substitute the values. So next let us substitute the values. So that is, I'll move to the next page. So rho is equal to R. The value of R was 26 ohm. So 26 pi 3.14. Yes, D square was given. So D was 3 into 10 raised to minus 4. 3 into 10 raised to minus 4 square. Okay, D square was there. Divided by 4 into L. L was 1 meter. Therefore, I will take it as 1. So now just let us cancel. So it is 2 2s are 4, 2 13s are, again 2 1s are 2, 6 are 12, 6.5. So 6.5, what remains? 6.5 into 3.14 into 3 square is 9 into 10 raised to minus 4 into 2, that is minus 8, divided by 1 into 1, that is 1. Okay, so nothing is there, so it is 1. So if you just multiply this, you are going to get the value, that is equals to, you are going to get 184.19 into 10 raised to minus 8. This value you are going to get. So rho is equal to, we can write it as rho is equal to 1.84 into 10 raised to minus 6 ohm meter. Okay, is the resistivity. So if you see this value in the table, so if you see the table 12.2 in your textbook, you can see that the material of the wire is magnets. That is, the resistivity of the magnets is 1.84 into 10 raised to minus 6 ohm meter. So here the given material of the wire, they had told to predict. So the material is magnets. By looking at the value of resistivity, we can say that the material is made up of magnets. Okay, so this is the resistivity. How resistivity is we can find out the resistivity in this way. Okay, so now let us move on to the next problem. So the problem, a wire of a given material having length L and area of cross section A has a resistance of 4 ohm. What would be the resistance of another wire of the same material having length L by 2 and area of cross section 2A? That is 2 times the area. So first wire, let us consider 2 wires they have considered. For the first wire, they have told length is L, area of cross section is A, and it is having the resistance of 4 ohm. First wire. Second wire, we have to calculate the resistance where it is made up of same material but it is having length L by 2 and area is 2A. So let us find out that. See, look at the problem, how to do. First case, for the first wire. For first wire, R1 let us take the resistance as R1 is equal to rho into L divided by A. So this value is given as 4 ohm. Yeah, length L, area A for the first wire, and resistance R1 is given as 4 ohm. Next, for the second wire, let's consider the second wire. Is what they have told. They have told that I'll take the resistance as R2, which we have to find. They have told the formula rho into length is L divided by 2 and area is given as 2 ampere. Sorry, 2 into area, not ampere, it is area. So which is equal to, so here 1 by 2, here in the denominator 2, 2 into 2 is 4. So I'll take that out, 1 by 4 into rho into L divided by A. So here you can see that rho into L by A. Just observe here, rho into L by A. Where it is? So it is R1. Yeah, rho into L divided by A is equal to 4 ohm is given. So substitute rho into L divided by A as 4 ohm. What happens? 1 by 4 into, in place of this, you have to substitute 4 ohm. So let's see what happens now. So 1 by 4 into 4, that is R2 is equal to 1 by 4 into R1, in place of R1, that is 1 by 4 into 4. Therefore, resistance of the second wire, that is equal to 4 ones are 4 ones are. Therefore, it is 1 ohm. So the resistance of the new wire is 1 ohm. So we have found out the resistance of the new wire is 1 ohm. For the first wire, R1 was 4 ohm. For the second wire, length is half L by 2 and area has been increased, that is 2A. So the resistance of the new wire, that is equal to 1 ohm. So these are the problems which are based on Ohm's law. So hope you all have understood. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay. Thank you. Try to solve these problems in your notebook.